Hi, Juliette. I get tired of doing these videos, but I want to get them all in. I don't really feel very well at all, and I want to make sure that I get them in. All right, June 10th. Dear Lori, I tried to inventory the emails, and this should be like the 38th weekend, but I'll sort all that. It doesn't matter because I've saved them all, and I'm sure you have. That should leave about 15 to go. Now, I want to mention two things. First is that I was allowed to call you, but I thought keeping this an email exchange would make us both more comfortable, particularly in the beginning. However, I hope that we can talk on the phone at some point. As always, are these are a reflection of things I've talked about with my therapist as I was asked to do, and all things mentioned in the exchanges have been discussed, and many suggested by him. I'm going to extremes to obey the orders of the judge. Okay, I'll break away from the email for a second. Uh, these weren't orders by the judge, these were allowances by the judge. Um, I was told that uh, I was not required to write to Juliette or required to email Lori. I think that it was told I called the family court system to ask what was going to happen when it runs out. And they said, well, gee, you don't have to. You're not. There's nothing in there that says that you have to see a therapist. There's nothing in here that says about writing your daughter or emailing your ex-wife. If you don't do it, nothing's gonna happen. There's nothing in here. Nothing in here at all. So I'll get more into that later. All right. Now I'm back to the email. Now I must explain the header in the last email. Nothing more to say. This means I cannot think of anything more to tell you about what happened more than 500 days ago. So I'll direct these going forward, looking forward. I'll make this email in two parts, or maybe wait until next week, compose some thoughts. But let me get to the immediate subjects. I want to help Juliette. I see she's still missing school, and I want a detailed report on what is going to happen. Is she going to graduate 11th grade? Is she going to have to go to summer school to do it? Will she be left back? Will she be drop out of school? What measures are being done to help her? If you don't want to fill me on any details, I will call the school on Monday. Secondly, next Sunday is Father's Day. What an olive branch it would be to have her call me. And I even give her my phone number just in case she says I forgot. This would show great character on your part that you did a good thing. It is your decision. I know you get advice from your lawyer and family and friends, but I also know that you are an independent woman who can choose and make up her own mind. You're in your 50s, for God's sakes. And it wouldn't even violate the judge's decision. She can tell me. She can, she can call me. Juliette can call me. Your mother can call me. I'm talking to you, Juliette. I'm not talking to your mother. But these emails are to your mother. I continue to write. It would be a very humane gesture. I will sit at home all day. I also think you must be thinking of what changes might occur in 111 days. If I would be pleased if you told me your intentions. I will not press you on the matter. I hope that it is what I think is the best decision to let me help you and Juliette. I know it may seem uncomfortable, but if we don't somehow break the ice, no progress can be made. In 111 days, I have the fear of the police knocking on my door. Hopefully, that fear will be removed. That is not to say that when the time comes, if things stay the same until then, that there could be nothing to fear. That there's still nothing to fear from me, no matter what. There never was forgiveness. Whatever happens, I have become a better person, and I would like to prove it. I always take the high road. I cannot afford to do anything else. If I am ever to see my sweet, lovely daughter again, please consider it. I'll break away from the email for a second, and I'll tell you, Julia, when it comes to anything in life, if you're having a dispute with anybody, be the better person, no matter how much it hurts, or no matter how much you think you're right. Be the better person. One of the best lessons I ever learned in my life. And that is what I am trying to be here and always have been. Lori your mother writes back, I know what you want to help Juliette, and I know that when she was seeing you, your version of helping was not actually helpful. I don't know how your mother, break away from the email. I don't know how your mother knows that. Your mother was never here. Such a, back to the email, such a tough love stance, such as saying things, trying to elicit a response, any response from her, such as punishing her for doing things you felt were not good. She must have got this from you because she would have to have been standing like a fly on the wall because she never was here. She never knew what happened. And for that matter, I have no idea what went on in your house. So she writes, so we already have a history of not being on the same page. The point is getting on the same page. I've said it before that I model my parenting after my own mom, who raised four great people. We were not exposed to hardships just to show us that life is unfair. We encouraged to grow at our individual pace. Let me break away from the email. That is a terrible parenting model. Terrible. That is just awful. You have to teach your kids that there are hardships in life and to overcome them and to make them do chores, and to be punished when they do something wrong, because you want to make them into good people, people that people will like, not people that always rely on other people and take revenge on people when they do something when they're wrong. What a horrible, your mother is a good person, but what a horrible parenting model. Disgusting. I recognize you had a rough childhood, but I don't understand why you want to teach Juliette that the world is rough and try to toughen her up. Because the world is tough. That's why. She shared with me some things that you made self-esteem plummet to the lowest lows. Maybe she couldn't articulate any of the fears that fear my retribution. This is all gaslighting. Your mother is just thinking these things. She has no idea the relationship between you and me. And she couldn't tell me because she knew I'd fuss. And then you'd get out on her somehow. Oh my God! What gaslighting? What a coward's way out! What a cowardly way out your mother is taking. She was petrified that you were planning to force her to drive as soon as possible. What a joke! What teenager doesn't want to learn how to drive? I always said to you, Juliette, I can't wait till you're 16 so I can learn to teach you how to drive. That I was going to force you to learn how to drive? And that terrified you? Well, you never told me. Is that fair? And what a ridiculous thing to blame on me, that I was going to force you to learn how to drive. I will encourage her to learn that I feel that as she matures, she will want to learn on her own terms. That's great. Have her learn to drive when she's 50. And live with you. Make it a self-fulfilled prophecy. I'm just saying that now. Back to the email. As of right now, Juliette has a 504 plan, which offers accommodations for certain school things. For instance, she has more time to turn in her homework. She has more time on tests to finish up her tests. Regents tests are coming up. Each of the 4 classes she's been doing reviews for the Regents. The last round of missing school is due to return to depression because we had to take her off a successful med that had some side effects. She has a few time on a day. The Regents tests are coming up. Each class has 4 classes and doing reviews for Regents tests. This is actually quite a lot that your mother has told me, considering all the emails before this she's ever sent me. She writes, the latest round of missing school is due to return to depression we had. I read that already. As she ended the med, she began to slowly feel depression coming on. She was extremely tired, had to sleep a lot. It's 2 days now, and that is on the upswing. She's not so depressed, but she still needed a nap. Another factor is she runs into the inability to focus. It's not all day, every day, but it comes and goes. A while back, she tried 2 different meds for better focus, and then she couldn't get to sleep. We decided to focus on anxiety and then her depression. Her anxiety level is much better. She stopped chewing her fingernails. I periodically, routinely check her in with her to ask if she wants to read your letters. She politely declines. Is that true, Juliette? Your mother could routinely ask you if you wanted to read my letters and you politely declined? I don't know. Your mother knows and you know. Your mother writes, just to give you a quick idea on how she remembers her time with you. Now this is the Domino's pizza story. And this is the most unbelievable thing that she tells me in June of 2017, and I have not seen you since January of 2016, almost 2015. The Domino's pizza story. And I am going to break this into 2 videos because the Domino's pizza story is well worth hearing.